We are just 3 days away from the New England Patriots taking the field against the New Orleans Saints, and we got some really, really good news involving some injuries involving this guy, K'Lavon Chaisson. And on the back half of the show, I think we just have to talk about how good this offensive line has been 5 weeks through the NFL season. But before we go and do that, let's not jinx it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not jinx it. Every good is good juju. We want the Patriots to go on a 3-game winning streak. I couldn't tell you the last time the Patriots have gone on a 3-game winning streak. So hit that thumbs up icon. Let's bring some good luck to the Pats. Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And the Patriots, they got great injury news ahead of the Saints game regarding K'Lavon Chaisson. We know that he did not play against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, and he was greatly missed because you were dealing with Keion White and also Anfernee Jennings, who aren't the greatest players. And we're going to get to Keion White on a little bit later. But you saw this tweet from Mike Reiss yesterday on Wednesday, and he had this to say about Keion White. Had a sleeve over his right elbow, worked to the side on conditioning during media access portion of Patriots practice. While he didn't finish the game due to injury, that was when Anfernee Jennings came in and just did about the same that he did for the second half of the game. But K'Lavon Chaisson, who did not play, returned to practice on Wednesday. And you could see, here's the full injury report from Wednesday's game. Jalen Hawkins still dealing with that hamstring injury. He did not play, but he didn't practice last week, but he did end up playing in the game. So I kind of think this might be just a rest for him, trying to get him ready for this upcoming game against the Saints. And Keion White did not practice on Wednesday. Christian Barmore has been limited every single Wednesday with a non-injury related. And K'Lavon Chaisson limited, Farmer limited, Anfernee Jennings, Milton Williams. This has been on the injury report every single week so far through the Patriots season. But let's talk about Chaisson. I mean, he has been having kind of a resurgence of his career. He's kind of having a breakout year, being on that opposite side of Harold Landry, and it has been a tremendous increase from what we saw last year with Anfernee Jennings being on that edge position. You can see right there, 9 tackles in only 4 games. This is huge for the Pats defense because they were not... The last couple of games, they have not been really getting to the quarterback. They got to the quarterback a ton on Sunday against the Bills with Josh Allen, but most of those pressures were coming from Milton Williams and also Christian Barmore. I think Barmore had about 8 pressures on Josh Allen on Sunday, which is insane for an interior defensive lineman. But if you look at Chaisson's stats through 4 games of the season, you cannot complain. 13 pressures, 2.5 sacks, and then on the other side, Harold Landry's doing his business on that side. He's having kind of a great year for him, and thank God we brought him over from Tennessee because right now they are a clown show over there. But without Chaisson, you're pretty much dealing with, you have nobody. Keion White was supposed to have a breakout year, and Anfernee Jennings, we know how good Jennings is with the run defense, but he can't get to the quarterback, and neither can Keion White. There was all on one side of the football where Josh Allen was taking advantage of being on that side, making plays with his legs because they were not getting to the quarterback. And now that Chaisson's back, I do love that he's going to be most likely playing on Sunday, hopefully getting to Spencer Rattler and getting pressure on him to force some turnovers. But I think we need to really talk just about Keion White this season. It was expected that he was going to be the breakout guy. And coming into this year, he was the starter. And then once we saw training camp and preseason, he immediately fell back into that backup spot where he obviously wasn't being behind Harold Landry, but he was also not starting over K'Lavon Chaisson. And then when he did get hurt in the second half of the game, which he didn't play, but even when he was playing in the first half of that Bills game, he was non-existent whatsoever. Non-existent. And he really hasn't been, he's been non-existent the whole entire season. It wasn't just that Bills game. If you look at the stats, the Patriots have been refusing to play him because he's just not been playing well. But when he is getting on the field, he hasn't done a thing. 23 snaps in 4 games, which he's played in every single game. He's not getting a lot of snaps, but he has not gotten one pressure to the quarterback. His PFF grade is terrible. He has only 1 tackle on the season. And if you go on PFF and look at every single Patriots player that has a pass rush grade, he is dead last out of all the Patriots. That involves some of the linebackers and the cornerbacks and safeties that have a better grade than him. 48.1 is not good. Anthony Jennings, who can't get to the quarterback to save his life, has a better PFF grade than him. That's a major, major problem. And it's kind of just, it's hard to defend at this point how bad Keion White has been. It feels like when you're watching him, he has one move. If you look at Harold Landry, he has a little swim move. He has a spin move. He has all those kind of finesse moves to get to the quarterback. With Keion White, you watch him, and it's just, I'm going to try to bull rush, use my strength. And it has not been good. It has not been good, and there's a reason why Keion White has kind of fallen all deep in the depths of the depth chart. No pun intended with the depths and depths. It's just, he's been bad. And now you kind of have to look at it as, do you start to explore a trade with Keion White? Can you find someone that is going to take a chance on him? Because we all thought the potential that he had with how good he was last year. I think it was week 1 against the Bengals. He was one of the highest rated edge rushers in the NFL. And we did know that he is coming from playing the interior, going on to the outside of the defensive line. But it has not worked out for him. It has not worked out, and he's just fallen, and he looks like he looks like he doesn't want to be here. And if you look at his contract, he only has 1 year left. It's this year and then 2026. So you have 1 year, $2.478 million, which is not a lot. It's not a big dead cap hit for the Patriots to trade him. I think it's about $660,000. So you could easily find somebody to try to find a trade partner for him as we get to that closer to that November 4th trade deadline in week 9. And you blink and it's going to be here. I don't see the Patriots as really sellers, as they're a really good team. But if you can get maybe a 5th, a 6th, for Keion White, you should look to explore it because at this point, you don't need him. I think right now, when you have Chaisson at one side, Harold Landry on the other side, it's going to be good. And then you go into the 2026 draft and you look for an edge rusher, anybody that's out there in college football right now that sees the potential to be a future New England Patriot. So I'll ask you guys, with how bad he's been playing, would you trade Keion White? Let me know down in the comments. Type T for trade or type K for keep. If you would have asked me in the offseason, I would have said, hell no, I'm not trading Keion White. He is going to be a star on this team. That's a big loss by me. That's a big dud by me because I thought he was going to be great. But you let me know down in the comment section right now. Coming up on the back half of the show, we're going to talk about the offensive line praise specifically from Bleacher Report and what they had to say about Will Campbell. And there's one guy on the Patriots offensive line who is having a sneaky great season. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. This is a new feature within the app, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create on the new feed tab on Prize Picks. I made a lineup for this weekend's game with New England and New Orleans, and I think Rashid Shaheed, he's going with the less. You know that Gonzo's going to be on him, locking him down. And it's got to happen at some point. I'm just going to keep doing it every single week. Stephon Diggs, the more on a touchdown. And I think Travion Henderson also rushes one into the end zone. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, let's talk about the offensive line, and specifically with the rookie, Will Campbell. And Bleacher Report, they came out with their grades for every single rookie, and it wasn't just the offensive linemen, but they were coming out with every single one. And they had extreme high praise for Will Campbell. They graded all of them. So going from the first pick overall with Cam Ward to Travis Hunter, all the way down the line to the 32nd pick. So I had to see. I was like, ooh, what did they put as Will Campbell? Well, they gave him a very good grade. And this is only through the first 4 weeks. I don't think that they put what happened in week 5 as to putting onto this grade system, but he has been great. And he got a B+ from Bleacher Report. And me personally, I would have gave him a better one. I think he has been one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL right now, and he has been one of the best players on the Patriots offense, and it's helped. It has extremely helped Drake May become into the quarterback that he's growing into today, being a franchise guy. This is what Bleacher Report had to say. In his 2 out of the last 3 games, which is now 3 out of the last 4 games, he has not given up a single hurry per Pro Football Focus. He hasn't been responsible for a sack since week 1, which is still true to this day, and hasn't taken a penalty since week 2. And we know that Will Campbell had a couple of false starts in those first 2 games. He was a little jittery, but obviously he's worked on that. That being said, his run blocking needs some work. And talking about the run blocking, I mean, the Patriots are a primarily passing team with Drake May. They're not really running the ball with Ramondre Stevenson, so I give him a little bit of pass on that one. But Campbell has exceeded expectations this season. If you go back to training camp, we saw the joint practices with the Minnesota Vikings, with the Washington Commanders. Well, Campbell was a little bit iffy. I mean, he was getting worked by that Vikings defensive line, and I kind of had some questions. But since the season has started and you put him in an actual game scenario, he's been incredible. And I really look at the pass blocking grades because, like I said, the Patriots haven't been a really big rushing team lately. TreVeyon Henderson has not been given the keys to this offense yet. But 1 sack the whole entire season. The run blocking grade is okay, but the pass blocking grade is one of the best in the NFL. 72.3 and 4 penalties. I still like to see those penalties go back down, but I also found a chart of just every single offensive tackle in the NFL. Not just rookies, this is everybody. This is time to pressure and pressure rate for offensive tackles. And you know what all these charts. You want to be in the top right corner. And if you look at the bottom left corner, where's Will Campbell? Oh, not there. Oh, where do you find him? In the top right corner next to, I think that's Lane Johnson, at giving Drake May an average time to pressure 3.4 seconds, and his pressure rate is only 4%. He has been incredible, looking like a veteran, and he's only played 5 NFL games. And you also have to make note, he's a rookie. He's going to get better and better and better. This is the worst that we will see Will Campbell be, barring an injury or anything like that, but he's just going to keep getting better and better, and I think the Patriots have found their franchise left tackle. I mean, we kind of saw it when he was drafted. He said he was going to die in the field for Drake May, and that's just what you love to see, and he's really showing it out on the field, and I have the utmost respect for him and what he's done for this Patriots, because last year we were dealing with Vidarian Lowe, and I wanted to rip my hair out. I really wanted to rip my hair out. Another guy that I kind of want to give praise to is Micah Onwenu, and he has been just having a breakout year, a sneaky, sneaky good year, because everybody's worrying about on the left side of the Patriots offensive line with the 2 rookies, Will Campbell and also Jared Wilson. But if you look on the right side, Micah Onwenu is having a great breakout year. Extremely underrated, and I haven't seen many people talk about just how good Micah Onwenu has been this season. You look at his stats compared to last year, going to this year, it has been a complete flip the script moment. You see in 2024, all 17 games played, 65 PFF grade. His run blocking grade was awful. His pass blocking grade was decent. Allowed 2 sacks and had 5 penalties. Well, fast forward to 2025, through 5 games of the season, 78.3 pass blocking grade. He has been one of the best guards in the NFL, and I think he ranks, if you look at the PFF rankings, he ranks top 10 out of all the guards in the NFL. And the one thing I want to look at when you look at last year is that they really couldn't find a spot for him on the offensive line. You were kind of flip, flop, snip, snap. If you watch The Office, you know what I'm talking about. They couldn't find a spot for him. He was rotating from right tackle to right guard with all new offensive linemen. We saw Ben Brown kind of going at the center position, Vidarian Lowe, Michael Jordan. It was all over the place, and he could not get into rhythm. He could not get comfortable. But now with this new revamped offensive line with the New England Patriots, it seems like he's found his spot right there at right guard. And he's also right next to Morgan Moses, who has also had a pretty good season so far with a veteran teaching him things, and Garrett Bradbury in the center, who's, I still call it a Linsanity run. Talking about the whole offensive line, here's your grades from PFF if you look, and everybody's mostly in the green. I mean, Jared Wilson's a rookie, Garrett Bradbury's pretty solid, but this offensive line has gone from a F- back in 2024, one of the worst I've ever seen, to a B+, and it's really showed how good the offense has been with the progression of Drake May from last year to this year. It feels like he's getting more and more comfortable. But I'll ask you guys before we get on out of here. Do the Patriots have a top 10 offensive line? I could say they have a top 10 passing offensive line. Maybe not run, but you guys let me know down in the comments section. Give me a Y for yes or N for no. That's going to do it for the latest episode of Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Remember, we will be live on Sunday at noon for our watch party against the Saints. So make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss out. And as always, let's go Pats.